on the line with me is Scottie Nell Hughes. She's the chief political correspondent with USA Radio Networks, the website usaradionetworks.com. She's the author of Roar, The New Conservative Woman Speaks Out. Her website is Scottie Nell Hughes, Hughes. Scottie is IE. .com, and you can tweet her at Scottie N. Hughes, SCOTTIEN, capital N, HUGHES. Scottie, welcome back.
Oh, thanks for having me. You know what you just reminded me of? I mean, the reason why I wrote Roar 2 years ago was for today. This exact day, the day that I knew it was coming, the day that the Democrats had Hillary Clinton as their presumptive nominee and the front runner. So 2 years ago, I predicted this was going to happen. So I think I deserve some sort of award for this one right now, Thom.
Well, all right. I give you an official award here.
Thank you.
Acclamation. Anyway, there you go.
There you go. I'll take it. I'll take whatever I can get at this point.
So, Scottie, you're all over the media now, and congratulations on as a spokesperson for Donald Trump. And I'm watching this whole Trump thing. I have two big questions for you, and I'll lay them out. The first is Trump has taken a bunch of positions that I've highlighted over the months that I thought were actually sane positions. Opposition to trade deals, saying that opposition to cutting Social Security, saying that rich people should pay higher taxes. He has, that we shouldn't be so aggressive in our wars. He has. And I think that he won his position with those positions. They're all, frankly, to the left of many Democrats. And now he's walking all those things back. You know, he's met with Paul Ryan. Oh, well, okay, I guess we can cut Social Security. The wars. Oh, we're gonna have bigger wars and better wars. His tax plan cuts billions of dollars in taxes for billionaires, but the bottom 70% of Americans are all going to pay more taxes. I mean, what's going on there with your candidate? What is it that draws you to Donald Trump, and what do you think is drawing people to him if his policy positions aren't?
Well, that's the thing. I think what you initially start off, those initial proposals that you just mentioned, the things that attracted you, that attracted a lot of those independent thinkers to Mr. Trump, those are actually where he stands. What you've had since then is this kind of misconstrued all over the place. And I agree, the establishment getting involved with Mr. Trump in some areas has not helped his campaign. It's definitely weakened it as he's, tried to somehow find this middle ground. But the key with all of this is, and some people see this as a negative, I see it as a positive. All of these are proposals. These are ideas that, because he is not an elected official right now, because he's not a senator, he doesn't have the security clearance. He doesn't have all of the briefings that you get when you have that type, when you're in office. And so as he's learning more and more, you're seeing some of these change. But the end result is the same. He will be taking taxes down for the middle to lower class. He still believes that if you make under $25,000 a year single-handedly, you will be paying zero income tax. There's still those same proposals are still there. Now what you're getting is this misconstrue, as I think many people on both sides are very afraid of some of these numbers that show him neck and neck with Hillary Clinton. And so you're going to see that all I can do this, and Thom, your readers are great about this. Do your own research. Go to his website. Read his policies for yourself. Don't read some article or some analyzation of it, because they're going to take and they're going to misconstrue everything right now, because the fear is that Donald Trump might actually be the one that's elected president by some.
Yeah. Well, and which leads to my second question. I mean, he's being pilloried right now by Republicans. Joe Scarborough spent 3 hours this morning pointing at the camera, saying to his Republican colleagues, Joe Scarborough, a former Republican member of Congress, and sort of the Morning Joe show is sort of the epicenter of mainstream Republican politics in the United States. I would say more so than Fox News even. Spent 3 hours saying you've got to disavow Trump, you've got to pull back your endorsement of him, and all this kind of stuff. I'm hearing from Republican consultants here in Washington, D.C., that there's an active effort inside the Republican Party, some of it fairly obvious, Lindsey Graham coming out and making the statements that he's made, but that there's an actual conspiracy, for lack of a better word, within the Republican Party to try to find something that they can use to disqualify Donald Trump to the point where by the time the convention comes along, there'll be a consensus. This man should not be our nominee. Let's go to Plan B and pick up the guy who has the second most number of delegates, which presumably is Ted Cruz. What do you know about that? What do you think about that?
Well, first of all, the good news in all of this is Mr. Trump is the GOP nominee because he had the non-endorsement of all of these folks. And this is the one thing that the Democrats do well. Instead of running out when they disagree with a policy of mainly their front runner or any other officer, they don't run out and find the camera and put the spotlight on them and publicly claim their disdain for them and publicly add to the flog of it. No, they do something that mature adults do. They pick up the phone and they probably call that candidate and say, you know what, I don't have it. I have an issue with this. Republicans, we're not so mature, I think, in this area. I think we look for the cameras, and I am really upset with some of these, and I say they're bitter, some of these folks that are going out there and they're doing everything they can to say, I told you so. They are screaming. They are looking for every excuse, and it doesn't help
Bill Kristols of the world.
Party. The Bill Kristols, but even, to a certain extent, the Lindsey Grahams and the John McCains. What good is that doing? I mean, the key in all of this that people have to realize, in whether you and I agree with this area, from a Republican standpoint, when you're looking at our economy, when you're looking at the job not growth, the job loss numbers that we had from last week, when you're looking at Hillary Clinton actually being not only the first female who's up for the office, but also the first person under FBI investigation while the nominee, there's all these factors. This is Donald Trump's case to lose. This is the GOP's race to lose at this point. We have all sorts of ammunition. The only way that the Democrats are able to steal this away is if they create some sort of major war. They tried with gender a couple weeks ago, didn't work. Now we're seeing this race war going on. I think this new launch of what we've seen these past few weeks have been blown out of proportion, made literally a mountain out of a molehill. And I think what the key is that the big Trump campaign, including all of his surrogates and myself, have to realize it takes two to have a battle, Tom. And as long as we don't feed into that narrative and we focus on the issues, we might actually have a clean race between Hillary and Donald Trump, and people can look at the policies for themselves.
Were you on the conference call with Donald Trump a couple of days ago where he was saying double down on criticizing Judge what's his name?
Yes, I was on the call yesterday, but that wasn't exactly what he said. First of all, this was a call that was actually a very casual call that was scheduled last week. That was amongst all the surrogates. Most campaigns do surrogate conference calls. It started off by Mr. Trump saying, listen, there is a good chance that there is someone from the media listening. Let's just consider everything's on the record. He then went on to a variety of different issues, including the foreign policy in Libya. He went on to his tax issues, and obviously Trump University came up. And he laid out the plan, the same plan that I believe that Ben Carson and Newt Gingrich, who publicly sat there and criticized him 48 hours ago on the Sunday morning shows, once they saw why Mr. Trump feels like he's not getting a fair case, all of that you go, well, there has to be some reason here why this judge is keeping this case going on. And they saw that, and they've come back and said,
well, this judge has moved it back to November, post-election.
Well, part of me is going, why don't you go on and have the case today and let's get it over with? Because Mr. Trump feels like that right now he's got it on his side. This case, when you have sitting here the original, I don't want to debate the logistics of the case because I think this just adds into the narrative. This is a private case. This is a civil court case.
Right. That's why I don't understand why Donald Trump is taking this into the public arena in a political way. Scottie, we just have a minute left, by the way.
Well, no, and I agree with you on that. And I don't think he necessarily is. He's just answering the questions that the media continues to ask him, and they continue to ask all of us surrogates, and we're going to continue to answer them. I think from here on out, though, you're going to see a change of going, nope, we're going to go up and actually start asking questions and go on the offense against Hillary Clinton and the policies she's trying to present.
Right. So your plan forward at this point is to just start running a regular political campaign.
Leave this to the judge and the jury to decide. Let's actually start running for president.
Yeah, and you're going to try to put this, whether it's foot and mouth or whether it's something that his supporters love, talking about the Mexican judge, you're going to put that behind you.
Personally, I know I'm going to try. I'm hoping others follow suit.
Yeah, it's a fascinating phenomenon to watch, Scottie. You and I don't agree on a lot politically, but you're doing a very good job as a spokesperson for Donald Trump. I'll give you that.
Thank you,
Scottie Nell Hughes, always great talking with you. Her book, Roar, The New Conservative Woman Speaks Out, ScottieNellHughes.com. You can tweet her at Scottie N. Hughes. We'll be back. Thank you, Scottie.
To watch more clips from our programs, hit the Watch More Videos button over here. And please be sure to hit the handy-dandy subscribe button so you'll always be up to date. Tag, you're it.